Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to make this lecture for my friend Netisha, right? One second, let me show you. This is my friend Netisha, and I am going to make lecture for this person. Okay, so whether if you want to become an expert in assembly language, you need to learn all these things. I will explain one by one all videos and you will become expert in assembly language, right? So just have a short quick overview of course outline. So course introduction simply, this is assembly language, right? And what is the purpose of assembly language? This is the basically low level programming, and uh, where we use this is basically a backend processor for the use of processor. Actually we do not need to learn it, but this is the our degree is a requirement, so that's why we are learning. But nowadays we are studying high level languages, right? So if I say notepad assembly language, this is basically low level, right? Low level programming language. So what are the high level? Like Java, C, C, C plus plus, Python. These are the basically high level languages. Okay, so we need to know these language, but the assembly language used for processor, right? So that's why this is the degree requirement, so that's why we study. So this is basically course introduction. You can read by yourself on internet. What is the course introduction? You will get a lot of details about it. Okay, so this is the just introduction. Basic computer architecture. Okay, this thing basically you need to understand. Okay, basically there are different types of architecture, right? Suppose if I say x86 processor, right? x64 processor, ARM processor, and many other processor. Like MacBook have different processor, Window have different processor, right? So these are Ubuntu have different processor. These are the basically different processor. So depends on the requirement, and depends on the university which processor they are teaching you. So your requirement is x60 x64 processor, right? So if I say, suppose, what is the difference of what is difference between x64 and x66? So the main difference between x64 and x60, one thing, x64 also known as a x32. You have a listen one word in your life, like a 32-bit, 64-bit, right? So x64 is a modern processor. Like if I say my PC, if I show you my PC, you can see my operating system type is a 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor, right? So this is a basically, this is modern processor, right? In a in very in very start, like in the old period, we use 32-bit, and no these days we use 64-bit. What is difference between 32 and 64? The difference between just only on instruction set. Instruction set, what does mean by instruction set? Instruction set means like 64 bits means we can write a statement like we can write a statement which can afford 32 bits 32 bits data and 64 bit data, right? So suppose if I say I want to Java, right? If I say int a equal है equal is equal to 64, this is basically example of we can write 64 1 0 3 4 5 6 7 like up to 60 up to 64. We can write this long statement in one variable, right? And in 32 we can write just only on 32, like 1 2 3 4 5 just up to 32. This is a basically difference. We have a doubled capacity of it. This is the basically difference 32 64. So this is just only simple things you do not maybe you, if you are understanding, that's it good. If you are not understanding, that's no issue, you do not worry about it. Here mainly focus only on to learn assembly language programming. These are the just basically introduction, and sometime maybe people feel introduction is they do not like. Okay, representation of data and section. We have already discussed what is representation of data. As we have already discussed, I told you in the 32 bit we can store just only on 32 bits data, right? Yeah, like as I have told you 0 to 1 30 0 1 when we store only on the form of binary, right? Computer machine language is binary, right? For so this is the basically instruction I have told you 64 bit and 32 bit. In 64 processor we can write 64 bit, and in 32 and 32. This is the basically okay. So let's talk about a register and instruction set architecture. So this is the actually thing very important, and you need to know what kind of registers are being used in assembly language. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so segment register, there are the different types of registers are being used in assembly language. Segment registers, pointer registers, general purpose registers, and index registers. We will discuss one by one where we use a segment register, where we use a pointer register, where we use a general purpose register, where we use an index register. Okay, if I go to, let me down it, X okay, and in the x64 bit register we use like rax bx, these are the, as you have seen this manual, right? Cs, if you write before this rcs, rds, rss, res, this will become this is these are the basically instruction of a 32 bit. But if we talk about 64 bit, you have to put r in advance, like I show you, wait a minute. RCS, RDS, RSS, RES, ES. So basically this is the difference between in the 32-bit we have registered names like this CS, DS, SSS, ES, and in 64-bit we have put R before every register. So you can learn from here like this 64-bit register, like these are the register RAX, RBX, RCX, RDX, RSIDS. These are the basically a register which we are going to use. So these register have different parts, like if you want to use a register, this is basically 64-bit. If you want to use as a 32-bit, you have to put a E EX instead of R, right? So this is the actually difference between it. Okay, and if you just want to use as a 16-bit, you have to use only AX. So these are the things you will understand automatically with the passage of time when we will do programming. Okay, lower part, upper part, we will discuss everything in future, right? So I hope you are understanding it. Okay, here you skip it, register, you skip it, first assembly language program. Okay, so before, let me share with you this Zoom meeting.